ni Rev Alex. Thanks kunijoin for Turning Point Stories. Leo ni episode number 2 na tuko na guest wetu wa leo, 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗶. I know her story will bless somebody, so stay tuned till the end. Sikiza kwa makini na mimi najua God atakubless. Angela,
yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana Rev.
Unafilaje leo?
Nafeel poa.
Hey.
Nashukuru.
Na thank God kwa sababu when I extended the invitation to you, hauku hesitate.
Yes.
So nataka leo ushare sisi story yako. Na na pray God ya kwamba atakupatia the right words za kuinarrate.
Amen.
Ili tuweze ku resonate na wewe na experience yako. So to introduce Angela ni nani?
So kama vile umesema naitwa 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗶. I'm a daughter, second only daughter in a family of 2 kids. I have an elder brother. With both my parents there. I was born and raised in Thika town, that's in Kiambu County. Kasomea pia Raima.
Wasiwa Thika mnasikia ni wa kwenyu?
237 in Kiambu County. Kusomea nimesomea Thika tu huko primary school. Na high school nikaenda Limuru, also in Kiambu County, but my life may rotate around Thika. Yes.
Any demo Thika?
Thika. A small town, but it was amazing.
So unajua kwa nini nimekuinvite hapa hivi? Kuna life umepitia na mimi niko convinced ya kwamba kuna wasee wako huko nje wanneed kusikia ya kwamba pia mademo upitia maneno na in the end wanaweza keti place kama hii watu share na sisi story yao. So abu tusho story yako inaanzia wapi?
So in my family tulikuwa na this thing during the weekends ama holidays, special events, tunapatana kwa shosho, the uncles, the cousins, they have a big extended family. So we used to meet and have parties. Na kwa hizo parties kulikuwa na pombe. Lazima wangechinja, kuna kamuratina hapo, kuna mabia. So that's how I was first exposed to alcohol.
So uko how old at that time?
As young, as young as I can remember, as young as 3. Because it's something that it's a culture. It was a culture. It is a culture in our family. That watu wakipatana, lazima kukuwe na hiyo kukunywa. So alcohol, I've always grown up in a household where alcohol was there. Because my dad, he was a drinker. So at a home kwa nyumba akungekosa kabuti kamoja beer. So I grew up knowing that alcohol is good, and for you to have fun and have a good time with your friends, you need to have that alcohol, even with your family. So tulikuwa tunaenda church. I was brought up in the Catholic church, so we used to go for mass. Even sometimes we have mass at home for Thanksgiving, memorial services. So after service watu mnachinja na lazima kukuwe na pombe. So as a rule in our family, you can start drinking when you're 18 and above the legal age limit. So there was no one ever who told me that usikunywe pombe.
So utastart mwaka gani hivi ukiwa primo utakunywa?
Nikiwa primo, cause nimekuwa na experience. Kuna ile mzee atakwambia hebu ndo niletee ile drink yangu, alafu namletea nakwambia unataka kutaste? You're like of course I want to taste. So una taste kidogo hiyo whiskey yake. So nikasikia iko na a bitter taste, but it gave me a buzz. And I really liked that feeling that came with it. So with my so nasikia kwa family hawezi kunywa until uko 18.
Yes.
But with my friends, when I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm in primary school, your age just gap ya kwenda high school. So after class 8 we used to meet with my friends, tunachanga pesa, tunanunua maybe quarter. So tunakunywa to experimental age.
So lakini hamtalewa?
Atutalewa. Your kids don't have even enough money to buy pombe ya kuwalewesha that much.
So primo haikuwa an issue sana?
Haikuwa an issue.
Seko?
So high school, and I went to high school, we used to have this thing where mnaenda holiday tuition. During the holidays, people from different schools mnapatana in a certain school mnafanya tuition. So during your holiday tuition, utapewa maybe like 200 ama 100 bob na lunch transport. So hiyo 100 bob tunachanga, kila mtu anachanga, mnabuy tea na mnabuy weed. So time ya break time mnaenda mna smoke kidogo, mna stone, alafu sasa after class ndio you can start drinking.
So hii kusmoke weed hapo itakuwaje? Unajua ni a big thing kusmoke kitu.
Yeah.
So how do you get initiated into that?
So it's just because you want to fit in. I had very low self-esteem. And I wanted to acceptance from my peers. So anything ile ingefanya nikae cool, na wani accept, I wanted to look like the cool kid. So I wanted to do anything ile akukwa na limits, nothing was off limits for me. Anything that made me look cool, I would do it. So the smoking of the weed ni mtu anakuja nayo. My first experience with weed, I remember there was just a lot of the first puff, you smoke, you cough, and then unajua pia kuna ile ufala ya unajifanya uko high, unaona, because you want to tell people you feel something. So but kuna hiyo a lot of paranoia. I never really liked weed. Weed wasn't my thing. But alcohol on the other side, I used to love it because it used to give me a false sense of confidence.
Unasikia umejaa?
Nimejaa. Naweza ongea because I was a very shy person.
Okay.
So without the alcohol, niko reserved. But with alcohol, I become very active. I can dance, I can talk, I can do anything that makes me seem like a cool kid.
So seko utajulikana unakunywa, ita raise issues home, shule, will you get caught? Is there incidents?
So there was an incident, I remember when I was in Form 2, we had gone for a house party. Because normally we'd wait, like I tell you, my parents are not home today. Watakuja jioni, so mnaweza come kwetu. So now obviously mnakuja na pombe na weed na whatever is available to you. So I went for such a house party. And unfortunately, I got so drunk, I was unable to go home. And that time I remember we were supposed to meet with my mom at 2 p.m. So I was dumb to think that I'd go at 12 and be back home by 2 before my mom comes. So my mom, I didn't show up, I was not picking up my phone. My mom now later tells me that she found me nimelala kwa estate, nime blackout. So fearing that something bad had happened to me, she took me to hospital. So when I came to, I was in hospital. I don't even have memory ya kile ilifanyika. So with that incident, my parents were like, you have to be careful with the friends that you keep, because vile unaenda hautamaliza shule. And that was their fear, that I'll not finish my studies.
So did you finish in the same school you started in?
Yes. So no, when you go to school, I went to a national school. So kukuwa na a lot of access to alcohol or any drugs. So in school, kurudisha nyuma kidogo, primary school, I was in a small school. We were even less than 15 in our class. So nilikuwa nimezoea kutop, nakuwa number 1, number 2, number 3. So when I went to this school, the first exam that we did, nikakuwa number 158 out of 180. But imagine your culture shock.
Yes.
So I'm thinking
in national school sasa.
In national
ni gani
school.
By the way?
𝗗𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗏𝗏.
Okay.
Yes. So nimeenda hapo, performance yangu nimekuwa so intimidated. Remember I tell you I was a shy person.
Yes.
So naenda napatana na very confident girls, they're outgoing, but me I'm reserved. Na sina hiyo pombe imezoea kunipatia hiyo confidence.
Yes.
So na since I didn't have a sense of identity, so nikajieka kwa hiyo box that I don't belong in this school and I'm not even a good performer, though I had the potential to do. So all throughout my high school performance nilikuwa at the bottom, so I thought I belonged there. No. So at like my form 4 was my worst performance. Nikapata D E. But it's cause nilikuwa nimejieka kwa hiyo box that nilisha block, nikasema I can't perform, I don't belong here. I just want to get out of this school, but I can't.
In the end, after kufanya KCSE,
I managed to get a B plane.
B plane?
Yes.
Nice.
But still, nilikuwa amongst the last. So I'm waiting. You remember I was told when I get to 18,
yes,
I am free to do whatever I want.
Okay.
So I was really waiting for that moment to go to campus. So the moment we got the results in December, I think it was January, April I joined campus.
Okay.
So I looked for the school ileko farthest away from home so that I can move away from home.
Okay.
And do what I want. And as I didn't even take time ati kujiuliza, okay, what do I like doing, career. The course that would take me with my points is what I went for, because the idea that I had of life after campus as an adult now is nilikuwa nafikiria ni kuparty, kwenda clubs, kukunywa, yani that fast life, that's what I wanted. So when I joined campus, I moved to the hostel, so I can go out. My parents, kuna mtu ananiuliza, uko wapi? Sasa ni 6 hujafika. So no one cares because they think I'm in school. So nikampo sasa nimeingia, excited kwenda out, west, anywhere, place yote where kumekuwa na alcohol.
So ningekudu ni course gani na uni gani?
Niliingia Strathmore. I went to Strathmore to do BCom.
Yeah,
Bachelor of Commerce, because like I told you, that's the only course. I wanted to do a financial management course, but my grades could not allow. So the only course that would take me ilikuwa BCom in that school. And I also chose that school not because I wanted to go there, it's because I wanted people to, to have a certain watu wanitambue, waseme hata amefika, ameenda campus university.
Asio yote uko Strath.
Niko Strath. Mimi ni ule msee. So I went there. Of course, campus, I had this idea of that the first guy that I would meet there or start dating is the one who would marry me.
Okay.
So I always used to have this fantasy of I'll get married to my campus sweetheart. So the first guy mwenye alini approach who showed interest in dating me was also in my class. Though he was a bit older. And alikuja na hiyo narrative nilikuwa nataka. You're so beautiful, I want to marry you, there's no one else. Guy, he shows interest in me and we start dating.
Umebambika yake yote?
Nimebambika. Anasema anataka kunimari. So I believed him and we started dating. So but this guy alikuwa anakunywa more than I used to.
So what year is this?
This is first year.
Okay.
So I've met this guy at this point at campus. I wasn't a daily drinker. Ilikuwa tu ile Friday, Saturday, and then maybe Saturday go home.
Yes.
Monday I'm back to school. But this guy alikuwa ule mwenye anaweza kunywa after classes.
Oh.
Yeah. Since I didn't want to lose him, so I proposed twende kukunywa after classes, I would take up the offer. So I can introduce also to keg. I'd never tasted keg before. So I was introduced to keg and cheap liquor. No, whatever we could afford.
Ulikuwa na maridao na maapo.
So I thought it was cool because he had his friends also.
Yes.
So endo kwa life, and also I can introduce kwa Jaba.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be huyo demo wa kushikisha, but since wanataka kumplease nikasema okay, let me try, and then it became a habit. Kila time twende tushikisha, I'm like yeah, sawa, let's go. So that became the lifestyle. And also this is campus. Hakuna mtu anakuangalia kama unaenda class. You don't have to go to class. So I started missing classes at that point. So hiyo ikakuwa lifestyle yetu. So I remember at one point tumedate the first semester, second semester tukaenda holiday.
Yes.
So the second year I found out I was pregnant.
Oh.
Yes.
By this guy?
By this guy. Yes. So when I told this guy, he was like, unaniharibia maisha. You're ruining my life.
Who's ruining who?
Those were his exact words.
Wow.
Yes.
Majama.
So my dad is very strict. And I didn't want to be one of those ladies mwenye unaambiwanga alienda kampo akapata mimba. So I was scared and I was confused. I didn't know what to do. So nikaenda advice from my friends.
Sasa madem.
And they're like, what's jali? You don't have, we just come with 3K. Tutakwambia vile tutafanya. Say hakuna option nyingine, you just have to get an abortion. So I decided, okay, let me just do it. It was a hard decision to do, but at that point I thought it was the best thing for me to do. So I went for the procedure. This guy is nowhere to be seen, so I had to look for that 3K to Kenda, and so that process was very painful for me, physically, emotionally, and mentally, because I never thought, just sometimes unasikianga vitu zingine but you never think that itakuhapenia wewe. So I decided, let me go back to school now and focus on my classes. So tumeachana na this guy, though we're in the same class, tunaonana. So eventually, of course, tuta interact tena. So he came back, he apologized. Being the naive person that I was, and I didn't know my value at that time. So nikaingia tu box yake tena because lugha tu ilikuwa ile, you know, I still want to marry you. So tukaendelea na hiyo life ya kukunywa, kuhata classes. Tena nikapata ball ingine. So at this point, niko like, I don't want to go through the same thing that I went through last time.
Okay.
So the first month, I'm like, yeah, this is it. So every weekend, nikienda home, najiambia, hey, this is the time I'm going to tell my parents.
Okay.
But
so you're determined to keep it this time?
I'm determined to keep it.
Okay.
But during the week, nakunywa. Nikisemanga, this is my last day to drink. Because, you know, pregnant people don't drink. But the last day, see the last day. Tunaendelea inakuwa daily. The first month, second month, third month. So nikasema, okay, now this has become too much. I have to speak up. Your weekend nikaenda home.
Okay.
And I'd been really bugging my dad to rent me like a house.
Yes.
From the hostel. So that weekend he was like, oh, you know what? Finally, I can let you move out. Go look for a house and then you'll tell me I'll pay for you. So I was like, guy, sasa alafu nimwambie niko na ball. Nikasema I can't do it. So I was excited to be getting my own house and I didn't want to disappoint my parents. So I decided, let me just go back to the same doctor to help me take care of my problem.
Okay.
So I went in for the second abortion.
So you did it? I
did it. This time it was physically painful. I actually thought I was going to die on that table. And like, I was just crying and telling God, please, I don't want to die. Forgive me and just let me stay alive. You know?
Somehow bado uko na relationship na Mungu.
Because unafikiria ukiambia God kitu kimomba atakusikiza.
Yes.
You know, in that moment. And I was just like, I was in tears and I was like, I wish I can just call my mom right now. I wanted to tell them, hey, please stop, just call my mom. But you know, akishaanza ameanza and it's like a very tulienda mahali kwa buru uko ndani kwa ghetto. It's ni wale kienyeji doctors. Yeah, so karoom hata ni maybe this much. A very small dingy room hata when you ukiingia. So I thought I was going to die on that table. So the procedure ikaisha. And I remember living there, I was in pain. I had to be put somewhere. Ni nguvu irudi kidogo ndo niweze kwenda home. And this guy is the one who took me this time. So nikapewa some pain meds, tukaenda home. And I remember a week after that, I just couldn't live with myself. I started hating what I had. I couldn't recognize myself because at this point now I miss a lot of classes, so I'm failing.
Are you drinking?
Yes, I'm drinking to mask this pain because who do you tell what you've done? There's no one unaweza approach. And if you tell your friends, it's something imekuwa normal. You know, kwa campus girls, as in it's okay. And there's this thing, pro-life, it's your choice. Your body, your choice. So, like,
it's pro-choice, not pro-life.
Pro-life, yeah.
No, it's pro-choice, not pro-life.
So your choice, like kuna mtu anakusaidia kujustify choice umemake.
Yes.
So you're not supposed to feel guilty. So who will you go tell what you've done? So there was a lot of guilt in me. So I'm drinking. The relationship with this guy inaenda iki break.
This time was he supportive?
He was supportive actually.
Who paid for it?
I did.
How comes then?
Because like you said, I was marrying down.
Okay.
He was a very broke guy.
Okay.
So I paid, but the relationship, he was a player. I was not the only one.
Okay.
So tulikuwa tunakosana kila time, tukilewa tuna fight, ananichapa, unaona. So it became a very toxic relationship. School
so you're drinking, kuna abortion, kuna abuse.
Kuna abuse. Saidi ya shule, because nimemiss so many classes, nimeanza kurepeat. My classmates wenye tulikuwa nao initially, washasonga mbele yangu, mimi nimeachwa nyuma.
So you're year what now?
Now I'm in year 2. There's a rule in Strath, kama ume fail more than 6 units, you can't go to third year.
Okay.
Until you finish easy units zote. So I think me had failed like 6 or 7. So wakaniacha nikabaki nyuma. So every semester, the new semester, sina mse najua. So you can discourage, nikafeel nilikuwa high school tena.
Yes.
Like place fitting. So it was a struggle for me. So nilikuwa na like grades zangu ukiangalia kwa transcripts niko na like 40, 41, just above the pass, like just below average. You get ile to pass ndio usonge mbele.
Parents wako what are they saying? Do they know anything? Do they have a clue?
Realize kuna decline because nimeacha kwenda home, communication nimecut. Wana realize na fail sana na repeat.
How do they know?
Because now they have to pay again. Cause anashindwa how come unafanya extra units this time, unamwambia nilifail hivyo. So but unajua una come up na ile excuse ni ngumu. University ni ngumu. But sasa kuna hiyo a lot of inconsistency. I would call naambia na come home same to me fair, but I don't show up. So they started losing trust with me. So ikakuwa hiyo ndio life sasa. Everything was starting to fall apart around. Nimeachwa na kila mtu, nimemiss graduation ya kwanza 2018. 2019 I missed another graduation. So that's my 6th year in. 2019 I missed another one.
And you're still in school, eh?
And I'm still in school. So ikafika point I want to drop out, but I don't know how to tell my dad because that was not an option.
Yes.
So every time I would lie to them, na graduate. Graduation ikienda kukaribia na hepa kwa sababu nitawaambia nini. So and all this time nashindwa kumaliza kwa sababu ya kukunywa.
The guy is gone now.
The guy is gone.
He graduated.
He was expelled.
Okay.
He was expelled. So nimemiss 3 graduations because of my drinking. I don't go to school. I don't show up for classes. There's a whole semester I never went to school. Siku struggle kufanya nini, assignments, cuts. I just went missing. From Strath I went to stay in Juja.
Okay.
Because Juja cheap liquor was accessible. So at that point nika realize wase wenye tulikuwa tunakunywa nao wote wamegraduate, wameanza kupata jobs, wengine wameanza kupata watoi, wame move out, they have their own houses, but me I'm stuck. At this point I've moved back home. Because my parents are like, we're not going to get you a house and we're still paying for your school fees and you're not showing any signs of finishing. So I really hated the fact that I was back home and I had nothing to show with my life. I hated myself because I was stuck doing a course that I never wanted to do in the first place. I hated myself because of my failures. I felt I had so many opportunities that I had missed out on. So nikiangalia life yangu nilikuwa naona sina hope. Kuna vile unaweza kaa una anticipate for the future. But for me sikuwa na anticipate. Every time nikiamka najiuliza saa why am I alive? I want to die. I think I'd be better off dead than alive.
So you start getting suicidal thoughts?
Yes. Frequently. And to mellow out those thoughts, I used to drink. More. So nile always kosa kakuota tu mahali. Kwa bag. Kwanza nikienda home nilikuwa nataka ku make sure nimekunywa juu. Every time nikienda home ni lecture kwanza. Unapata tu umepangiwa intervention na wazazi, familia, kila mtu anataka kukuongelesha at least to change life.
Physically unakaaje by this time?
Physically nimeanza ku lose weight. When I was leaving high school I was about 68 kgs, my heaviest. So I had started hadi watu wananiuliza like, are you sick, are you okay, as in what's up? Naambia masomo ni ngumu, kampuni hard. So I lost a lot of weight because pesa ile unapata utafikiria kukunywa ama utafikiria food. Like I never even used to buy clothes for myself as a girl because pesa hiyo hiyo 200 ninunue kakuota kuliko ni buy dress. So nimeshindwa kumaliza shule, drinking, I go home nakaa for some time, naenda missing for a week, na nikienda missing ni kuzima simu, hakuna mtu anaweza.
You go where now?
I go to my friends, I drink, naenda huko kwa west na kunywa, anyone who would host me. So na overstay, then I go back home. So I remember there was a certain incident nilikuwa nimeenda kukunywa na mabeshte wangu. So nikaangalia, tulikuwa kwa beshte yangu, nilikuwa na move into her house. She has a good paying job, her first job, she's getting like 70k. She has a beautiful house, she has her partner there, and I'm just like, God, my life. And tulikuwa na huyo mtu the same high school. Tumekuwa naye throughout campus, but my life is stuck. So hiyo kitu, hiyo thought can hit, like I'm nothing. I felt like I was nothing. So nikasema nimekuwa missing from home for like almost a week, but I want to go home.
Yeah.
But I want to die. I don't want to continue living anymore. So nikikunywa najiambia, this is my last day alive. I want to go home, but I don't want to kill myself in my parents' house. Because I felt like I'd hurt them so much, and I didn't want them to wake up to a dead daughter in their own home. So I was like, okay, so the other option ni kuruka kwa bridge mahali Thika Road. But I was like, that is too dramatic and too painful.
So you're concerned?
I'm
still
concerned. Because I didn't want, like kuku, when you try to kill yourself, people can even beat you.
Yes.
So hiyo ndio ilikuwa fear yangu. And then I thought, ama naweza enda tu mahali nitulie, because at that moment I felt like I was losing my mind to some point. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but I felt the only option was to die.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the only solution to that feeling. Nilikuwa nasikia like I was losing my mind completely. So I remembered I'd seen a testimony of some lady, alikuwa na trend kwa social media hiyo time. Alikuwa go through heroin addiction, na kuna rehab alienda akakaa. So nikasema ama nipigia wasi nione kama watakubali niende nikae huko hata kama ni a week. Maybe they can help me, because I thought rehab wataenda kupatie dawa utulie, unaona. So I called them. I remember I was drunk. I was up Kawa West, nikawapigia. Calls around 6. Niaje hapa ndio teen challenge. Mtu anaweza jileta, and then like yeah you can come. I'm like naweza come saa hii. I'm like yeah kuja. Nimefika teen challenge. They've called my mom. They've told me that I shower, I go to sleep. So the next morning my mom comes and she's very worried. She's like, are you okay?
So they actually take you in just like that?
Yes.
Wow.
Because nilikuwa nimefika around 9:30 p.m. Actually, people were headed to bed. They're in their rooms already. So, but me going there, I was going to get shelter and to get comfort for that feeling that nilikuwa na feel at that moment.
I think some of our viewers wanaweza kwa Teen Challenge. Teen Challenge is a Christian discipleship program that targets alcoholics and drug addicts. And they have a center for ladies. Yeah. And I think that's what you had seen, an interview of somebody who was there, and you thought that could be the place.
Yes.
Endelea.
So my mom anakam tumeitwa kwa ofisi. So she's like, alikuwa amenikuja hata na nguo za kwenda home. Because at this point they didn't think that nimefika hiyo stage ya kwenda rehab.
Okay.
No.
And by the way, how long have you been in university now?
8 years.
And they don't think you need help?
No, they don't
think you need that much of help. Yeah, this is too big.
That it's like they were also in denial.
Okay.
Because hakuna ule parent anataka kukubali that mtoto wake ako na shida ya pombe. And wao kusikia rehab, kuna ile picture watu wanakuanga nayo ya rehab.
Yes.
That rehab, mtu anaenda rehab ni mwenye anaisha kabisa, analala kwa barabara. So nikamwambia, if it's either I die or I stay here. Because I feel like I just want to die. So please just give me a month. I stay here. I see if I'll feel better, then we can go home.
They were told Teen Challenge is a 1-year program.
It's a 1 year. But me in my head, I'm like, there's no I'm staying here for 1 year. Unajua hata mimi sija accept that I have a drinking problem.
That big.
That big. So I'm like, I'll stay here. So my mom was like, okay, akasema, let's take this opportunity to reform this child of ours. She was like, okay, at least stay for 3 months and then you can come home. So we agreed. I'm staying in the program.
But Teen Challenge doesn't know this.
Yes, they don't know this. So this is between us. Because hata wakwa amebudgetia ati msee anaweza. Because they kept on asking me, ni ulijileta? I'm like, anauliza tena, alijileta? Nani alimleta? They're like, she came alone. So my mom is, she goes, ananiacha. So I'm still, I think sikuwa nilikuwa na culture shock kidogo. Because that morning kililiniamsha nilisikia watu wakiimba. Unajua sijakuwa nikienda church for a long time. The Catholic Church doesn't have a lot of, singing and praying and so mimi niko kwa room nasikia watu wanaimba, watu wanaomba. I'm so confused. I'm like, why am I in the right place really? So the next day I go for chapel because they normally have chapel every day at in Challenge. So niko chapel, mimi nimekaa. Unajua they have this thing where they put the newcomers on the front line.
Yes.
So mimi nimekaa tu hapo nashinda si watamaliza kuimba saa ngapi na kuomba. So that's the first day because I never thought being saved was a solution or something I'd ever do because picture nilikuwa nayo kwa watu wameokoka like msea ni mshamba
watu wameboeka tu hawana form. Oh yeah,
hawana form. Hakuna msee fan because nilikuwa nimezoea kwa nao
na by the way unapenda watu cool.
Mimi nataka kuwa cool kid. So tumeenda chapel the first day. The second day comes some lady, a guest speaker. So I'm interested to see huyu anataka kusema nini. So aka preach, but there's something alisema kwa hiyo sermon yake ikaniguza. Akaniambia that Jesus doesn't condemn us. And I was like, who's this guy mwenye hata ni condemn hizi vitu zote nimefanya? You want to tell me that if I come to this Jesus hata ni judge na hizi vitu zote nimefanya?
Anybody knows about the abortions?
No one knows at this point. I'm just that girl who came at night crying and drunk.
And home, do they know?
No one knows.
Okay.
So my mom was even shocked the fact that niko hapo.
Okay.
Because they never knew that kuna other problems that I was facing.
Yes.
So the message the lady preached, I was like, oh Jesus, for real? So when she was asking people to do the salvation prayer, who wants to get saved, I was like, I just lifted my hand and she called me to the front. I said the prayer and then I started crying. I felt like a sigh of relief.
Wow.
Like I'd been so restless for a long time. I said the salvation prayer, I was crying, but the sad crying that I'd been doing for so many days. It was like a sigh of relief, and I felt comforted by the fact that I was surrendering my life to someone who was not condemning me, because all my life I never felt that hakuna mse ananijudge. Even with my parents, I felt like a failure. Because constantly, like any other human being, but there's nothing we haven't done for you. There's nothing that you've never lacked, but just look at your life now. But the fact that he's not condemning me. So that is when I accepted Christ. That was like less than a week after, because I went to Teen Challenge on 28th of January and got saved on 3rd of February. So I'm here at the center, I'm born again, bado kuna hiyo confusion.
Are you feeling different?
I am feeling different. The feeling of like I'm losing my mind has left me.
Okay.
I felt comforted, but that was short-lived.
Uh-huh.
Because with time, I started realizing, I've messed up my life so much. And hakuna mtu mwingine naweza blame isipokuwa mimi. And even though I had others to forgive, it was so hard for me to forgive myself. I really struggled with that. Because I realized that all the choices that I had made, hata kama grow up in this family where there was alcohol, I'm still the one who made the choices to drink and to do all that. So, and the abortions and, hating myself. So that was a struggle for me. But with time and with, there's a lot of reading at the center. And reading the word and reading books, getting to know my identity and to know the fact that Christ had forgiven me for my sins, and he needed me. I was a new creation. So
it is this reality to set in now?
Yes. And I remember when I was around 4 months into the program, that's when I decided that I will never drink again. So I had gotten saved, but sikuwa nimeamua kuacha pombe. But 4 months in, that's when it hit me. Actually, I was in the shower. I was like, guy, akisitai kunywa pombe tena. Kama hivi ndio imenifikisha hapa, I'm done. And that's when I actually decided, like completely that I don't want to drink or to smoke or anything. That's when I decided I have a problem. Nika realize, I have a problem. I have to accept the help. And
so is this your turning point moment?
Yes. That's when I decided now I want a different life. 4 months in.
So have you got the different life now?
Yes, I decided to finish the program, the 1-year program. It was COVID year. So it took like I felt like I was living my life again. Like I was finally being the person that I was meant to be. Because throughout this whole time, unajua una feeling ni kama you can't pinpoint, but una feel ni kama you don't belong. But for once I felt like I was at the right place and doing the right thing. So I did the program. I finished the program.
You did finish?
I finished the 1-year program.
What year? What date?
So I joined January 2020, 28, and finished January 2021, 28. So that was, because for once I felt, wow, nime complete kitu.
So you had a story of too many unfinished things.
And I was like, this is a new start for me. So I went back to school. So
now to be year what? 9 or
to be year 8, because now they wrote me a letter in this 8th year. If you don't finish within this year, sasa hii the COVID year, we're going to discontinue you. So I was advised to take an academic leave. Ndo wasicount yo. So I took a leave nikiwa kwa program, and when I finished I went back, and now I started. Ironically nilikuwa nimebakisha unit moja. But hii unit ilikuwa inanilemea kwa sababu ni research. Nashindwa kusoma. So nikaweza kuifanya last year, nikamaliza. Ilikuwa challenging, but naweza sema grace of God ilikuwa sufficient, because anytime I felt like hizi mwaka zote sina hiyo head knowledge ile nafaa kujua, because hizi units zote nimepita ni kubahatisha, wacha niseme hivyo. Sasa inaweza kuambia saa hii hata kama niko na any accounting knowledge in my head. So I was able to read and to write a research paper and to do the proposal and to defend it and to pass and to do the data collection.
So you're passing things again now?
Yes, so I'm passing. So I actually passed this unit, the research unit, and that nika complete sasa. So now I'm graduating actually in next week, but 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
After 8 years?
After 8 years.
Finally you're graduating? Finally
I'm graduating. Yes.
Anything else that has happened since you stopped, since your turning point?
So since my turning point, nimeweza ku regain my identity. Because what was missing in my life ni sikuwa na hiyo connection with my creator. So I didn't know.
So what's different now?
Different thing is that now I had that one-on-one relationship with God, and through the reading of the word, I was able to discover my identity and to know that as long as I was alive, God was not done with me, and there was a purpose that I was created for, and that was what was lacking, and hence the abuse. Because I didn't have any sense of identity. I didn't know who I was. So now having that relationship with Christ and knowing that kuna hiyo purpose na kitu anataka nifanye, I was able to work towards that.
Okay.
So I also realized I had the passion of helping other people who've been through the same hopeless situation that I was in, and to let them know that kuna hiyo si permanent.
I think now I think I should direct you uongeleshe msee anaweza kuwa helpless au kwa hiyo place ulikuwa, ama mzazi yako na mtu kaa wewe, ama relative kaa wewe, ama sister kaa wewe. What would you say to them?
I would tell them that as long as you're alive today, that you still have a purpose on this earth. And the best thing you can do is, sometimes we're so scared of asking for help, and we're so hard on ourselves. But there's no situation. It doesn't matter what you've done, where you've been, how many times you've failed. There's still a chance for you. So don't give up on yourself, because God hasn't given up on you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would be your parting shot to somebody watching you? Like, if they never had anything else from you, give us a parting shot.
I would say that God is not done with you, and as long as you're breathing, you're alive, umeamka leo uko sawa, bado kuna chance na God akona purpose na wewe. So don't give up on yourself, because don't give up on yourself.
Don't give up on yourself.
Don't give up on yourself. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, 𝗵𝗵𝗶. I really appreciate you being so open to speak on your life, and some of those things I know are really private. Maybe even some of the things maybe nobody else has ever heard, ukisema hivyo. But I thank God that umekubali ku use your story hiyo ambayo ilikuwa ni trial, umekubali leo hii kwa testimony. Na God wetu ni faithful, ya kwamba hiyo chance alikupa, na grace yake kwa sufficient still ukarespond. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Rev.
And thank you for speaking so openly.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. I'm praying that story ya 𝗵𝗵𝗶 imekutouch, and if you are there and hopeless, umesikia vile ametuambia, God is not yet done with you. He's able kukupick up mahali upo na anakupatia chance nyingine. So tu ni wewe ku decide siku kama ya leo kumake your change. Yali change, na change yake li start na yeye ku receive Christ. So pia wewe jua Christ anakudai, anakuita na ako willing ukimwalao kuingia kwa hati yako na kukufanya into a new creation. God bless you. Ni Rev Alex.
The heart of evangelism and mission should flow from the mindset of God the Good Shepherd. The heart